Hey guys, this is going to be Nickole's point of view next, so we're just going to get straight into that. One day, Skyline and Cobra were at the bus stop. There had been an ambulance at their place last night, and I wondered what had happened. I think that should say the night before. Because, it says one day, and then we kind of move ahead. I knew the dad was kind of abusive, and I wondered if it had something to do with that. Mom wasn't really in touch with her mom, but I could probably get something out of Ellie. We stood together quietly, and Ellie whispered to me, "He overdosed." I looked over, wondering if she meant to say it out loud. "Their dad?" "Stop! Keep your fingers off the keyboard." "No." I was quiet, focusing on the ground. "Cobra." My heart sank. Cobra was so young. He was only 12. I wondered how he got a hold of anything in the first place. "I'm sorry." "It's okay. They were his dads, my uncles. I guess they'd always been around drugs, so they knew where everything was. Ricky was asleep." We stood quietly. I hoped Cobra was okay. He was still a nice guy. He didn't talk to anyone, and he never said anything mean to people. Yet he followed his sister around, but that didn't mean her personality was his. He was probably one of the nicest guys around, and it was probably all buried underneath the show he had to put on for Skylene. At school, that's all people could talk about, was the news that someone had overdosed last night. Kids wanted to food Skylene. She was hardcore like that. No one thought it was Cobra, and Ellie picked through her lunch awkwardly. "I kind of miss him," she admits, and I smile sadly. "I know what you mean. I hope he's doing okay." Or, "I hope he's okay. They found him in time, thank God," Ellie says, pushing her foot away. "I don't know. It'd be weird not having him around. He's 12. I don't know what he was thinking when he did it. I want to hate him, but it makes me scared for him." I smile too. I hope Skyline's okay. I do too. She might be a bully, but that must be traumatizing. She's the one who found him, you know. I didn't know. That's awful. "Hey, Ellie." Some girl had walked over to us, and she puts on a fake smile. She wants information. "Aren't you and Skyline like cousins?" Ellie nods, looking up at the girl. "Oh my God. Why did she overdose? Was it an accident? Did she even mean to? Was she suicidal? If I were her, I'd be suicidal too. I mean, look at her, right?" Ellie was staring at the girl, and she looked disinterested in the girl. I feel like we're just gonna take all that out. "Wouldn't you want to kill yourself?" "She must have a tough life at home, since she comes here acting like she runs the place. I kind of hope she doesn't make it. It'd do the world a favor." "You know what?" Ellie says, standing up and facing the girl. "I'll do the world a personal favor." Ellie punches her, and my eyes widen. I didn't know Ellie was like that. What is like that? Can we define that? Because like that, for defending your family who needs defending, what? The girl's eyes widen too, and she rubs her face in shock. "This one's for Skylene." Ellie proceeds to pin the girl, punching her repeatedly. The girl struggled underneath Ellie, apologizing again and again. Eventually, a lunch lady had separated them, sending them both to the office. "Are you okay, honey?" she asks, turning to me. "I'm fine, just shocked. I didn't know Ellie was like that." "Like that? What is like that?" The lady smiles. I'm sure the girl had it coming. She winks at me before adding, "Don't be acting like that, though. It'll get you in trouble. Let me know if you need anything, okay, honey?" I nod, and the lady walks away. I stare at the door Ellie had gone through. She cared about Skylene. She cared. Maybe it was a cousin thing. Maybe she was just a caring person, but she fought for someone. She defended someone's name when they weren't around, something most people wouldn't do these days. That is very true. That's something most people don't do these days. I glanced over at Brian, who's sitting, picking the bread off his sandwich, minding his own business. I wonder if he saw the fight, and a part of me wanted to go sit with him. Ellie was in history later, the girl wasn't. The school knew it had been Cobra, but they had to keep it private. Their family must be so shaken up right now. When the final bell rings, Ellie tells me how it went in the office. "I almost got suspended," she says when we climb out of the bus, sitting down before she continues. "Mr. Javins was thinking about it before I pointed out that she was encouraging suicide." "Well, yeah, she kind of was." I smile. Ellie was defiant. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all. She ended up getting suspended, having to go home, right after the office. It was great. Ellie sighs, leaning her head back. I hope they're okay. I do too. We get off the bus, separating. I tell her I'll try to call her later, but don't get her hopes up. When I went inside, Mom was at the table. "Hey, Mom." I set my backpack down and smiles at me. "Hi, Nickolle. Have you heard about Cobra?" "Who hasn't?" I sit down and she smiles sadly. "I can't believe it. It's always the ones you least expect." "He seems so depressed. I think he's trying to kill himself." "Maybe." Mom looked upset, and I knew she was probably scared to try something next. I have no interest in drugs, and I don't want to end up like Skyline's dad. Oh my God. Dad came home from work early, and we ate dinner as a family. It was quiet and awkward. Everyone in the neighborhood had heard about what happened. Nichelle didn't know what it meant, so Mama told her it meant he had almost died. I hoped he was okay. I was waiting for more information from Ellie. Jesus, I can't speak. When I went upstairs with the landline, I dialed her number. She answered immediately and heard a sigh. She knew it was me. "Nickolle, he's okay. They got him awake and eating and whatnot, but he says he feels dizzy, even though he's sitting down. He's also confused and says he doesn't remember what happened." I'm glad he's okay. Hopefully he'll get better soon. Carver might never be the same, she whispers. Ellie, don't say that. Hope for the best. But expect the worst. She cuts me off. Nickolle, I'm scared. Hopefully he's okay, but you never really know when someone's in that state of mind. Yeah, we're both quiet before she says she has to go, hanging up, and I stare at the phone. I do hope Carver's okay. Carver was back in school about a week later, but no one paid any attention to him. Instead, they crowded around Skyline's desk, asking her why she did it. She looked confused for a moment before realizing what they meant, and she instantly claimed their accusations. Yeah, I just wanted to try something new. It wasn't on purpose. I just wanted to experiment, you know? She was telling one girl, spraying a glance or two over at Carver. He was staring at his desk, and I had heard Eli had been giving Carver a weed. Carver didn't come to school looking high a lot. I'm surprised that the kids didn't notice this. Or he did come to school looking high. I'm surprised that the kids didn't notice this behavior, especially from him. Carver was known as the class clown, and he was Skyline's twin brother. What? No, he wasn't. He was known as the quiet kid. We're going to change that because he was known as the quiet kid. Because he doesn't speak. When he does, it's a surprise to everybody, remember? As the quiet kid. And he was Skyline's twin brother. Whatever she did, he did, apparently. He told the kids he had nothing to do with the drugs. And I wondered if they had agreed on this. Eli had been suspended for the drugs, but he was back now. It must have been weird for them to be together again after such a long time. I guess it wasn't that long. Well, I mean, if he's not distributing it on school property, realistically, he can't get suspended. And that's not coming from anybody who's, like, trying to support the promotion of minor drug activity deal stuff. But if it's not on school property, he can't get suspended for it because he's not distributing it on school property. Now, for them to report him, they could get him probably, like, fined or something. I don't know, he's a minor, so there's really not a whole lot of things that they can do. There's a lot of regulations and restrictions in place, but they can't suspend him unless he's doing it on school property or like carrying it on him. But anyways, when I got home that day, Mom was making meatloaf. We both hate it, but it's Dad's favorite food she ever made. I sat at the table and Nickolle and Nickolle sat down as soon as they came home, ready to eat. Mom asked how our days were, and I told her how Cobra was back in school, and she nodded, saying that was good. My nose is itchy, oh my god. Raquel and Nickolle picked through their food. They weren't closely related to the situation, and I hoped one day they'd be a little more understanding. I knew they were understanding already, but they were too young to know the full extent. Carver had looked tired today, but nobody pointed it out. He remembered things now, but he hadn't said a word about what happened that night. Nobody expected him to. Maybe Skyline, but I doubted she'd pressure him to say anything. Everyone wanted answers, but we weren't going to force him to tell us. I didn't know him the way some people did, but I didn't want to lose him. He was still someone. He was somebody's someone. Maybe not his boyfriend, but he was someone's older brother. He was somebody's cousin. He was someone's friend. He was somebody's someone. After dinner, Mom put the leftovers away for Dad. She went to the living room, sitting on the couch and turning on the news. The lady on screen was talking about the green flu and how it had been on the rise. Mom listened intently, and I listened half-heartedly. There wasn't anything to worry about, was there? The lady switched over to a guy who began talking about the more local news, saying that it might be best for people to start evacuating as soon as possible. Mom looked concerned, and when the subject changed entirely, she got off the couch and walked into the kitchen, calling someone. I wondered what she was so worried about. It wasn't like she was hiding. Nick, she stood in the kitchen, then, I know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bother you at work, but have you heard? A pause. Not about Cobra, but he's a bit better now. I'm talking about the green flu information. Apparently it's on the rise. They want people to evacuate. There's an old town in Arizona. It's been barricaded and blocked to people for ages, and their gates are now open for people who are leaving. I don't know what Dad said on the other end of the phone, but Mom sighed. Okay, I'll start putting things together. Hopefully we can get out of here before they come for us. You know how we are. She hung up, calling someone else and talking to them too. She told them about what she'd seen on the news, heading upstairs and looking around for things. I know, it's all a bunch of bullshit, but we have to protect ourselves, Mom was saying, coming back downstairs. She's packing. We're going to leave, just like that? Alright, well, I'll let you go so you and Alice can discuss what you guys are doing. I'm gonna take the kids. Nick will be home soon, and we're living together tonight, unless you can be ready to go too. A short pause. Alright, well, we'll try to wait for you then. Make sure you prepare. God knows how long it'll take to get there. Nick's thinking about using the cruiser. It'll make people move. Mom was quiet for a moment before hanging up. She looks at me. Oh, Nickolle, this is going to be hell. I smiled, watching as she looked around. I don't even know what's back, she admits, skinning him again. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Nick. Someone pounded on her door. Mom called for Raquel and Nickolle. Or Raquel and Nickolle. Girls, I was hoping we'd escape before they came for us, but I guess not. Whatever these men say or do, listen to them. Unless they order you to take your clothes off, then you refuse. But if they say get in their car, get in their car. Just this once. It's like get out of jail free cards because they have no other choice but to listen to these men. Mom opened the door and a man grabbed her, cuffing her, walking her over to a black van. Raquel was grabbed and someone pulled Nickolle by her arm over to a different van. We were being separated. I followed my sisters. Mom could handle herself. Once Ellie and her brother had joined Skyline's siblings and mine, we took off, following the van holding our 4 parents. Skyline's mom hadn't been home like Dad. I hoped everyone would be okay. And that's it for Nickolle's point of view. Next is Ellie's. This is getting into the second wave of the apocalypse, so this should be a quick read now.